mode.
Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for attending this webinar on the CAM Diploma in Digital Marketing. My name is Sarah Moriarty, Education Partnerships Manager for the Chartered Institute of Marketing, and I will be chairing this webinar today. I will shortly introduce you to our presenter for the webinar, Gill Kelley, but first can I highlight a few points for you to note. The webinar will be for 1 hour and will include a presentation followed by a Q&A session. All delegates are mute, so the only voices you will hear will be mine and the presenters. However, you can ask them questions by typing into the questionnaire box at the bottom of your control panel. We will then try to answer as many of these at the end of the session. After the webinar, you will receive a short questionnaire to provide feedback, so please take time to complete this. In addition, to help us with some research we are undertaking, please can I also ask you to let us know what area of digital you are particularly interested in. So perhaps it's search engine optimization or social media. You can do this throughout the webinar, again by typing into the questionnaire box at the bottom of your control panel. So without taking up any more of your time, may I introduce you to our presenter for today, Gill Kelley, Senior Examiner and Syllabus Advisor for the CAM Specialist Qualifications. As well as developing courses and assessments which are designed to match real work situations, Gill is an experienced trainer and performance coach. She has over 20 years' experience of working in organisations taking on various roles at all levels. As well as working with CIM and CAM, Gill works as Senior Leading Consultant at Coach2U. So over to you, Gill.
Thanks for that, Sarah, and hello to everyone. I can't really add to that, can I? But a point that I just want to stress, the most important point from my perspective is that I'm still a practitioner. And if I wasn't, I don't think I could do the rest of my work as effectively. And I've got a passion for all things digital. And I studied for the first digital qualification the Chartered Institute of Marketing launched at the e-Marketing Award. Studied it the first time it ran and did the assessment at the same time as my students, which was quite brave on my point, I think. That passion for all things digital can lead to me speaking very quickly. I'm conscious of that and I'll try and slow down, but I'm going to ask Sarah to slow me down if she thinks I'm going too quickly at any point. So, after that introduction, let me just give you a quick outline and overview of what I'm going to be talking about this afternoon. We'll start with the benefits of a qualification in digital marketing. Why should you study? And then we'll go on to consider what's in the course, what it covers now. And then I'll tell you a little more about the type of people that study for the qualifications now, what you can expect from us as an organisation and what we expect from you in return, and the many different ways that you can study. Digital technology hasn't only impacted on marketing, it's also opened up new opportunities for learning. And after a quick summary at the end, we'll move on to questions. And as Sarah mentioned, you can type these into the box as we go along, and we'll try and answer as many as possible before the end of the webinar. So, what are the benefits of CAM digital diplomas? There's been lots of research done, including our own research, into the skills that business needs from its marketers. And there's an acknowledged gap in skills in digital marketing. And as well as that, the Kroner's Marketing Rewards Survey has said that a qualification can lead to an increase in income. Their research in 2012, depending on the level of the job that you do, has shown that the difference in salary between qualified and non-qualified marketers in all areas of marketing can be between £750 per annum more up to £3,300 per annum more. So good reason to qualify. There are lots of excellent marketers out there, qualified and experienced, and a qualification can help you stand out from the crowd, market yourself. And one of the biggest benefits is gaining the knowledge and the ability to integrate both traditional and digital marketing. And our diplomas are designed to help you to do just that. It's so important. The traditional principles of marketing still stand even in this digital age, and it's so important to base what you do on the customer. What your customer wants and needs is the foundation of all marketing. Another benefit of doing a CAM Digital Diploma is your assessments are based on an organisation that you choose. So it's not an exam, it's an assignment, and it means that you and your employer, if they're supporting your study, get some payback immediately. They can be written about your organisation and their content then becomes useful to your marketing department. Knowledge builds confidence, and you'll gain experience of areas that you might not come across in the workplace and will be able to contribute even more in the future. And last but not least, we're constantly looking to keep the content of the diploma up to date. We help our learners and our tutors by sharing information about the changing digital environment. For example, the Internet Advertising Bureau have published research only today that shows mobile marketing is driving up digital advertising spend, an increase last year of 12.5% in digital advertising spend, which is pretty good going in the current economic climate. So, digital diplomas. The core digital diploma, the diploma in digital marketing, takes you from basic principles that underpin marketing as a whole. So marketing communications, marketing research, etc. to a point where you can put together a digital marketing plan for your marketing department. And then we offer options in specialist areas. So as you'll see here, the diploma in digital marketing could be around a specialist area of mobile marketing. They could be around web analytics and metrics, social media monitoring, or they can be around digital media and branding. And we're also interested to hear your views, as Sarah's mentioned already, about new units or content that you'd like to see introduced. So do feel free to add any of those in the question box on the screen, or contact us later with your ideas. So now let's have a look at these diplomas in a little more depth. So first of all, diploma starts with marketing and consumer behaviour. It covers, as I've already said, the basic traditional principles of marketing, including digital marketing. It includes the planning process, the generic marketing planning process and what's involved at each stage, from research that you'll do through setting objectives, and looking at the marketing mix, looking at all the tactical aspects of marketing, traditional and digital, and how you measure your success. Then there's a core unit in the essentials of digital marketing. What are all the channels that can be used? Search, the website itself and its landing pages, microsites, social media, video, etc. And it looks at how best to combine these into a campaign with a good call to action to improve your conversion rate and in turn return on investment. And finally, the unit on digital marketing planning works through the process of putting together a useful digital marketing plan that helps you to achieve your organization's marketing objectives. So let's just have a look at a couple of examples with developments in TV, just as one example. On demand, and also the digital boxes that enable multiple recordings so your audience can fast forward through your ads. Marketers are having to be all the more creative. We need to be able to overcome that barrier. And we've seen the ad bumper idea, where there's a 15-second ad at the start and at the end of a break. And now Volkswagen, the example I've used on the screen, have slowed down their ad so that the image of the roof going down still appears if your audience are fast forwarding. So you still actually see because the ads slow down. So just one example of how digital technology is helping us overcome those barriers and still engage customers. Customers are sophisticated, very sophisticated. They know when they're being targeted by an advert. And one way to gain their attention and engage them, again, is being more creative with the content of your ads. Entertain them to catch their attention. This is a fairly new one. Research undertaken by the commercial TV organisations is showing that people who watch TV are increasingly using another screen, whether that's a tablet or a smartphone or a laptop, at the same time as they're watching TV. And if they see an ad that's interesting, they may well go online immediately to gather more information. So it's speeding up what we've understood about consumer behaviour in the past, in that someone recognises something of which they have a want or a need and then go searching for information. This is speeding up the process. So in being more creative to catch their attention, Somersby Cider, this is a fairly recent ad. They launched their cider as if it was a new Apple product. Of course it is, but not the Apple that you may be thinking of. So this ad, I don't know whether any of you have seen it, but this ad shows queues outside the store. The store looks like a typical Apple store. Apple staff are demonstrating the app, which is the glass of cider, the docking station, which is your hand, of course, etc. So being more creative, and in undertaking the marketing diplomas, you'll explore some of these areas and how digital can be used to best effect. So, I mentioned the digital specialisms. There are alternative units to digital marketing planning that provide you with a diploma in digital marketing, but with a specialism named. And those alternatives are integrating digital media and branding, web analytics and social media monitoring, and mobile marketing in practice. The first one shows how digital media can help you build your brand, and it also highlights the dangers of using inappropriate channels and the damage it might do to your brand. The second one, they're looking at web analytics, how they can be used and learned from to improve campaigns and activities in the future. And it also looks at ways that monitoring social media can help you maintain or build your corporate reputation. What are people saying about your brand? How should you respond, if at all? And then the final unit, mobile marketing in practice. Again, very important. It looks at optimizing the web for mobile, but also at apps. And the assessment for this unit gives you an opportunity to build an app using a free platform online and suggest how it might be used or improved, build in a call to action, say what you're looking for your customers to do as a result of using the app or seeing your ad. Once again, one or two examples. Ford. Ford is using consumer-generated advertising or user-generated advertising. We're talking nowadays about owned, earned, and paid for media. So paid for, traditional media that you buy, the website and Facebook page or Pinterest page or blog that you create internally and manage is your owned media. And the earned media is customer generated, what they say about you in their blog or on Twitter, or in Ford's situation. You'll see the quote there from their advertising and media manager, and they are demonstrating that they understand their consumers. They're talking about the generation that you maybe belong to, the millennials in particular, like being a part of the brands they feel represent them. They're used to creating content about their lives, so Ford are looking to give that creativity a bigger platform with greater scale. That's his quote. And they're running a competition at the moment asking their potential customers, so their target segment, to create a video to advertise the car. So that's quite an interesting one for integrating digital media and branding. Another area that has been covered within this unit, can you name brands that have crowdsourced ideas for their marketing and new product ideas? There are many. Again, prompted by this particular ad, the automotive market are very big on this, and Nissan, Citroën and Volkswagen have already crowdsourced ideas for their marketing and product development. There's examples in pharmaceuticals where they've crowdsourced ideas to solve scientific problems, so they've looked to engage not customers, but the rest of the scientific population. And consumer brands such as Levi's, Expedia, Bobbi Brown, etc. And Coca-Cola. So a few examples looking at some of the big brands and how digital media can help them. And web analytics and social media monitoring helps you to keep up to date with developments. The latest one that I've seen, Google Analytics real-time events, so helping you to monitor events in real time, and also to break down your analytics across desktop, mobile and tablet. So new developments happening all the time, and we're trying to build those in to the units. And finally, in terms of mobile marketing in practice, it's not just about engagement. Quaker Oats, a very traditional brand, looking to build brand awareness and engage its customers through mobile. And what they're doing there is using mobile in innovative ways to engage new and existing customers. And they've just announced this campaign that will engage through recipes, so how you can use their product, advice on keeping a healthy heart, so the benefits of using their product, but also trying to engage families and giving the family the opportunity to create images of their adventures and share them with other families. So would this work with your product or service? Will it work for Quaker? And who will decide? And what criteria will you decide, will you use to decide whether this is appropriate for you? We're often asked the question, who should study for these diplomas? Who's it for? Well, it's designed. We've designed the diplomas and their content to meet the needs of practitioners and managers from both agency and client side. We've got learners who have existing qualifications in marketing and are looking to bring those up to date. And they work in all areas of marketing. We've had advertisers, researchers, customer insight managers, and they come cross-sectoral, so from business to business, from business to consumer, from charity, public sectors, etc. And I've pulled a few quotes out from students or recent learners on the digital diplomas. The first one from a marketing director. He said, I've had lots of marketing experience, but digital's new to me. So he'd come along to update his skills. Then a marketing executive said, my degree's in journalism and media. I've worked in marketing for 18 months now, and I want to build on my basic knowledge of online marketing. So someone who's relatively new to marketing, has a related degree but not a marketing degree, and really looking to professionalise. Then there's a product manager from a software company who said, I've worked as a brand manager in the past, but social media is new to me. So they're looking at one specific area and trying to get a view of how that is going to contribute to their workplace. Another one, senior lecturer at a UK university. I teach marketing and I want to update my knowledge in the cutting edge of marketing and its relevance to business. So good for them. They're looking at a bit of continuous professional development to help them keep their students, their learners, up to date. And a final one, I'm starting a new job in a search marketing agency soon and hoping the qualification will help me in my new role. So someone who actually is starting a new role and search engine marketing, so looking to improve their skills. So really a very wide range of people. If you talk to people in digital agencies, often what they'll say to us is, there's a really broad spectrum of people that are looking to improve their digital marketing skills. There are those who have been in marketing a long time. They're now maybe managing or directing a marketing team, and they want to improve their knowledge of digital so that they know or have the ability to challenge some of the rest of their team who are more up to date and have those skills already. And equally, there are people who are recruited into digital marketing who have a personal knowledge of social media, no background to the industry, but actually haven't used it to target customers and haven't got the traditional marketing skills. So a really wide range of people. So what can you expect from us? A very quick summary here. Credible qualifications that are updated regularly. We've already mentioned. We're looking for your ideas as well. So please add your ideas of what the next units we develop should be about in the question box. They're awarded by the Chartered Institute of Marketing. The CAM Foundation and the Chartered Institute of Marketing have been working in partnership for the last 12 or 13 years now. And the Chartered Institute of Marketing actually awards the CAM qualifications. So they're recognised internationally. The Chartered Institute of Marketing is the biggest marketing body. The assessments are based on the real world, so they're not just theoretical, they're about putting these ideas into practice and gaining from them in terms of what your marketing can achieve. And they're based on what industry, digital experts and academics tell us will be needed in the future. So if you're looking to get into digital marketing, you're not there yet, it's worth considering. I mentioned earlier that the digital revolution has not just impacted on marketing, it's also impacted on the way we learn. And digital learning or e-learning can be carried out now through virtual classrooms, webinars, or over the phone. And there are many study centres to choose from and a range of study options to take up if you're looking to do one of our diplomas. And you can build the units as standalone units onto other qualifications as well. If you only want to do a specialised unit, then that's fine. But there's a range of options. Some study centres do e-learning online study plus one-day workshops with practitioners. Some stick to the traditional delivery style of you actually going into a college or university or attending workshops, so you've got face-to-face contact all the way through. There are virtual classrooms plus e-learning, and there's e-learning plus tutor support by phone. So nowadays it's not as easy as it used to be in the past, where you said distance learning and it was all done through the snail mail. It's a more complex decision to make, but it's good because it gives you flexibility. And what's better in, if you're in a marketing role, you're very busy, what's better than being able to fit your learning into your schedule and know what's expected of you, and being able to sign in to an online workshop or webinar from work, from a hotel if you're away on business, or from home. So, I'm not doing bad for time. In summary, there are a range of options attached to the diplomas in digital marketing. So you can do specialist options and you can choose the way that you study. They're regularly updated and delivered at least in part by practitioners. And you can build the units as standalone units onto your existing qualifications and sometimes gain exemptions from the standard marketing unit if you have a suitable qualification. There are contact details here if you want more information after the event. I hope you found this useful and hope you'll sign up soon. But at this point, I'll hand back to Sarah, who's going to manage our question and answer session.
Thank you, Jill. That was a really useful presentation. So I do just have a few questions that I'd like to go ahead and ask you. The first one possibly better answered by myself, so if you want to add to it, then feel free to. So the first question is, how much does it cost to study a CAM qualification? So really there are some fixed costs which obviously you need to pay to CIM, which are your membership fees. At the moment these are £140 per year and you get full use of the CIM Learning Zone and website resources. You then have assessment fees on top of that, which are £85 per assignment and then £65 per exam. The additional cost to that would be your tuition fees, and these do vary, so you would need to contact your choice of study centres to find out what these may be. So I hope that answers that question, and if you've got anything to add to that, Jill, then please feel free to.
Okay, yeah, I will just add one point, because I know you touched on it, but if you're not familiar with the CIM website, have a look. There's lots of information on there that you can access free of charge. But as a member, a student member or whatever class of member that you are, there's a huge amount of resource that you don't see if you're just looking online without that membership access, without the ability to log in. And one of those resources is called Marketing Expert, and it gives you access to webinars similar to this one, which we talk about in terms of our practical insight webinars that have been recorded, so if you've missed some, you're able to go back and watch them now. But there are quite a number there of digital topics that you can log in and listen to as a member. And lots of templates and information, very practical information that you can use in your workplace just as a member, even if you're not studying, but will contribute to your qualification as well.
Excellent, thank you, Jill. Next question is, do I need to already have studied a marketing qualification to get the most from a digital qualification, or does it have its value as a standalone qualification?
Okay, that's an interesting one. If you study a diploma in digital marketing and haven't studied marketing before, so without that qualification, the Marketing and Consumer Behaviour unit is designed to give you some underpinning knowledge of what marketing is all about. Those basic principles, everyone agrees, in industry and in agencies still apply. Digital just gives us a new set of tools to add to those that have been there all along. And so that unit itself will equip you to move on and get the best out of the digital side.
Excellent, thank you, Jill. Another question here is the distance learning method of study restricted to certain start and finish times, or can I start at any point during the year? Okay,
do you want me to answer that one, Sarah?
Yeah, we can answer it between us. Just sort of from my point of view, distance learning is very flexible, so most study centres will allow you to start at any point, and you can finish it as soon or take longer over completing it if you need to. So it is a very flexible method of study, but again, you would need to contact your chosen study centre just to double check with them any restrictions they may have.
Okay, yeah, and just to add again, if you haven't got that marketing background, we make recommendations from our side that marketing and consumer behaviour is always done first. So you may find that your study centre that you approach maybe only starts that unit in a January or a July or a September, but it's worth talking to them. I know, as Sarah does, that there are a lot of centres who run what they call a roll-on, roll-off program, so they'll be running different units at different times of year. But my advice would be, if you haven't studied marketing before, go for that marketing and consumer behaviour first of all.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Jill. Okay, moving on. Do the online learning materials vary by provider?
Yes. The simple answer to that one, yes they do. They vary in the approach that each centre has taken to online learning, but all of them are checked, well, checked is the wrong word, but they're checked through the results that the learners get through their assignments. They all cover, what they have in common is that they cover the syllabus for the units, but it's just a slightly different approach. There are so many different styles of distance learning and e-learning, and yes, they vary from centre to centre.
Okay. As we know, there are lots of CIM accredited study centres and lots of centres that offer CAM qualifications. How best do I select my study centre? What's the best things to look out for, and how do I choose the best one?
Again, I think by talking to them, I think it's useful to look at who delivers. Maybe ask them to what extent are practitioners involved in the delivery, because that's always a positive. If they are a college, a traditional college or university, very often they'll use a practitioner as a guest speaker, because that will give you a better insight to how digital is applied in the workplace, perhaps, than the theoretical background that underpins it.
Yeah, that's great. And also, I'd just like to add to that then, and somebody else has also asked where they can find the list of study centres. So if you're not sure which centre maybe to choose, there are a list of approved study centres on the CIM website under the study section. And if you go on there, you can then compare location, modes of study, other qualifications they deliver, and you can then also go directly onto their website and get some more information about the college or study centre as well. So that should help you make your decision.
Absolutely, and ask about results, and ask about commendations, because if they get consistently good results over a period of time, then they are given commendations on various units because of the level and the standard of delivery that they've achieved. So that's worth looking for as well.
Certainly is. Okay. Next question then, Jill. What are the entry criteria for the CAM qualifications?
You've got me on that one. It's a fairly baseline qualification. So to come in and do marketing and consumer behaviour, I would say that you could, if you're in marketing, definitely, you should be okay to come in. But there are some standard entry criteria listed on the website.
Yes,
and you will have to send in a CV just to show what your background is to access.
Certainly, and just to add to that, anyone that's actually studied this, I think you mentioned it in your presentation, Jill, anyway, but anyone who's already studied CIM professional certificate in marketing, you are eligible to start on the CAM qualifications, or anyone who has a recognised UK degree equivalent to a level 5 qualification. And also there are some work experience criteria, but as Jill said, if you look on the CIM website under the study section, there's a breakdown for each qualification and what entry criteria is required for those. So hopefully that will be able to give you the information, because it does vary slightly. Okay, the next question is, how long should it take for me to complete the CAM qualifications?
Okay, so if you decide to do a diploma in digital marketing, the core award, I would say on average it's 10 to 12 months. There are some limitations, and this actually is relevant to the question about can you start studying at any time. There are some limitations because it is a professionally awarded qualification, so the assignments are marked by an awarding body and who go through a full quality process in looking at that marking to make sure the standard's being maintained, and they hold exam boards 4 times a year. And so if you look on it as marketing and consumer behaviour is what we refer to as a double unit, so that would take you round about 6 months, and the other units round about 3 months to go to an exam board and then have the results issued. So round about a year. If you've already studied the CIM professional certificate or above, or a degree, as Sarah's mentioned, that is recognised, you may well have exemption from marketing and consumer behaviour, in which case you can add on the 2 digital units in about 6 months and achieve another qualification, so a diploma. You only have 1 diploma in digital marketing. You're not able to study additional units after that and gain more diplomas, but you are obviously able to study more units after that and add them on, so it expands the breadth of your knowledge you'll just have one diploma in digital marketing there.
Okay, thanks, Jill. Another question we have, is it necessary to choose a study centre near where I live? I can answer that one actually. It depends how you'd like to study. Obviously, if you're studying, if your preference is part-time evening study, then obviously you need to bear in mind your travelling time and costs. If you're studying distance learning, then it doesn't matter where your study centre is or where you live, because you will obviously be doing online studying with them, so you don't need to worry about the face-to-face contact. So there's some things to bear in mind when you're choosing where your study centre is. So if it's face-to-face, then obviously you've got to consider your travelling as well. Okay, another question then for you, Jill. Will CIM or CAM be considering making assessments computer-based in the future? I'm not sure that's something we're able to answer at the moment, unless you know, Jill.
All I know is that it's constantly on our minds, and if we eventually, I hope that we will find that we're able to assess to the standard, because as digital techniques evolve, then obviously we're looking to keep up to date with those as well. And as long as we are, as soon as we are aware that we can do this electronically, if we do it through digital, and maintain the standard when we're marking those assessments and the standard of performance, then I'm sure. So we're keeping a constant eye on it, but it's not imminent.
Okay, thanks, Jill. I have a question here. Melissa has an MA in marketing, which is accredited to the CIM diploma. So what would she be exempt for in terms of CAM qualifications?
She would be exempt from the marketing and consumer behaviour double unit. So if she wanted to do a diploma in digital marketing, she would study the digital marketing essentials and then her choice of specialist unit to be awarded a full diploma.
Excellent. Okay. So what options are there after I've completed my diploma in digital marketing? What else could I do in terms of digital qualifications?
As we said before, each of the digital units is available as a standalone. Sorry. So, for example, taking Melissa's situation, if she's already got the MA and is exempt from marketing and consumer behaviour, she would do digital marketing essentials plus one other unit and have her diploma. She could still choose later to study the other specialist units and any more that by then have been added into the portfolio. In the future, depending on what we're told as we carry out research, there may be a progression qualification, but again, that is something we're always looking at, but we will only make available when there's sufficient demand for it. So there may be a higher level qualification that could be moved on to, but at the moment the option is to add on all of the specialist awards or any of the specialist awards and receive a certificate for those.
Okay, great. So there's lots of options available out there then.
Absolutely.
So another question we have is, I think you may have covered this, Jill, but maybe you could just reiterate, what job roles should I be in, or what job role is most suitable for someone studying the CAM qualifications?
Any. Literally any job role. I think, as you say, I covered with a few of the quotes. There was someone who was just moving into marketing, someone who'd been in 18 months, someone who'd been in for a long time, someone who is teaching marketing. If you're looking at the marketing rewards survey, the one that showed that there's a difference in salary generally between someone who's not qualified and someone who is, and actually the group of people that was showing the biggest difference in salary was a marketing exec stroke marketing manager with some experience. However, that doesn't mean you can only study those qualifications when you reach that stage. The current ones can be accessed from any job level.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Jill. We've got someone on here who's just trying to work out the costs based on the response we gave earlier. So they're asking us how many exams there are and how many assignments. Now this does vary depending on which CAM qualification they're studying, doesn't it? So
yes, although we've only talked about the digital today, and all of those are assignment based.
Okay, so they're all £85 for an assignment, so that should help you with that then. Okay. Rupert here has studied a non-marketing related degree, but he's currently working in a marketing role. So would he, I mean, I think you've obviously already covered this, but he would be, he'd be okay to start on the CAM qualifications and digital qualifications?
Yes, I would say so. But again, my advice would be to talk to, when he's researched the study centres, talk to the study centre. They should be asking him for a CV. And I know from similar work that I've done on that side of the business that when I talk to people, if I think it will benefit them to do a bit of reading first, I'll recommend some reading that they would do before they actually started the qualification, and that will just help build some of their background knowledge before they start.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I think we may have come to the end of our questions. One more has just come through. Do I actually need to be working to do the CAM qualifications? Do I actually need to be in a job whilst I'm studying?
Okay, that is there's an easy answer to that, and that is no, you don't. It is possible to do if you're not in working in a marketing role, because all of the assignments, if it's felt that there is no organisation, if you're not working for an organisation, offer a case study option, or we recommend that you base your assignment on your local study centre or an organisation maybe that is run by a family member or a friend. It doesn't matter about the size of the organisation, and a lot of people nowadays know someone who runs a small business and will be very grateful maybe for the assignment to be based on that. That applies also to charities and not-for-profit organisations. Again, by talking to them, some of them will be very grateful if you offered to base your assignment on their organisation and give them access to what you put together afterwards.
Certainly. Okay. Well, I think one more question has just come through. Sorry.
Okay.
Is there any length of time from receiving the professional certificate to taking the CAM diploma? So I took my exams 3 years ago, so I guess Sheena's actually asking here then, it's been 3 years since she took her certificate. Would she be okay to go straight in at one of the CAM qualifications now, or would she need to maybe do some different studying before she does that?
The answer again is she would be okay to go straight on to the CAM diploma. The difference would be, because I can't quite remember when it changed from a level 3 certificate in marketing to a level 4. If it was after it was upped in terms of its level to level 4, not only is she okay to start on that, but she would be given the exemption from marketing and consumer behaviour on the back of the study that she's done. If it's the older certificate, then that was level 3, and yes, still be able to start on the diploma, but wouldn't gain the exemption from marketing and consumer behaviour. She'd find that she remembered some, if not a lot of, what was in that first unit, but it's a useful refresher if it's a long time ago.
Okay, well Sheena's actually just confirmed it was level 4, so she'll actually be okay then to get the exemption.
Yes, she would.
CV, so that's good for Sheena.
Good.
Excellent. Okay, Thank you then, Jill. I think we've actually covered most of the questions, either specifically, if not in general. So I'd just like to thank all delegates for listening to this webinar and participating. You will receive a recording of the webinar via email in the next 48 hours, so if there's anything you missed or if you wanted to look at the slides again, you'll be able to do so. So once again, thank you for participating, and thank you again, Jill, for your time today.
It's okay, thank you.